South Africa is home to some of the richest politicians on the continent, with fortunes ranging from mere thousands to massive millions. Join me today as we count down the 50 richest politicians in South Africa, their real ages, and estimated net worth 2025. Watch and share. At number 50, we have Sensom Chunu, a member of the National Assembly, is 67 years old with an estimated net worth of $500,000. Next at 49, we have Peter Greenwald, Minister of South Africa's Correctional Services. At 70 years of age, he holds a fortune of $600,000. Proceeding to number 48 is Bantu Holomisa, a longtime political figure, is 70 years old and worth around $650,000. Progressing to number 47, we meet Themba Godi, a former chairperson of Parliament's Public Accounts Committee. At 59 years, he holds a net worth of $700,000. Occupying our 46th spot is Mameloko Kubei, the South Africa's Minister of Justice and Constitutional Settlement, is 47 years old with a net worth of $750,000. At number 45, we find Nathim Thethwa, a former Minister of Police. He is 58 years old and valued at about $900,000. Moving on to 44, we meet Malusi Gigaba. The 54-year-old former Minister of Finance boasts a net worth of $1 million. Sitting on the 43rd position is Mosebenzi Zwane, once Minister of Mineral Resources. His fortune stands at $1 million, though his age remains undisclosed. Holding our 42nd spot is Supra Mahumapelo, the 57-year-old member of the National Assembly, has an estimated $1.2 million. Counting down at 41 is Castle Mathale, a member of the National Assembly, aged 64, has a net worth of $1.2 million. At number 40 is Faith Muthambai, former Minister of Public Service. She is 51 years old and worth $1.5 million. Occupying 39th place is Susan Shabangu, the 69-year-old former Minister of Social Development, has amassed a fortune of $2 million. Bathabile Dlamini takes the 38th position. The 63-year-old was a Minister of Social Development and is worth around $2 million. Progressing to 37, we have Ace Magashule, the former Free State Premier, is 65 years old, with his wealth standing at $2.5 million. At 36, we meet Ronald Lamola, the Minister of International Relations in South Africa, is 41 years and commands a net worth of $3 million. Coming in at 35 is Kgalema Motlanthe, once a president of South Africa. He is 76 years old with a net worth of $3 million. Sitting at 34, Enoch Godongwana, the Minister of Finance, makes the list. At 68 years old, he controls about $3 million. Occupying number 33 is Paul Mashatile. He is the current Deputy President of South Africa, aged 63 and worth $4 million. Progressing to 32 is Michael Masutha, former Minister of Justice. At 59 years, his net worth is estimated at $4.5 million. At 31, we have Nozivu Mapisa Nkakula. The longtime politician is 68 years and is valued at $5 million. At 30, we meet Patricia de Lille. The Minister of Tourism in South Africa is 74 years old, with her wealth around $5 million. Occupying number 29 is Bulelani Nguka, the former National Director of Public Prosecutions. Aged 71, his fortune is $5.5 million. Next at 28 is Jeff Radebe, the former Minister in the Presidency. At 72 years, he is worth $6 million. At 27, we meet Thabo Mbeki, South Africa's former president. The 83-year-old has built a fortune of $6.2 million. Moving on to 26 is Mamphela Ramphele, former activist and politician, enters with $7 million at 77 years old. At 25, we have John Steenhuisen, Minister of Agriculture in South Africa. At 49 years, he holds a net worth of $8 million. Counting down at 24, Nomvula Mokonyane, former Minister of Communications, sits with $10 million at age 62. At number 23, we meet Tony Yenjini, a seasoned ANC politician. At 70 years old, his wealth is $12 million. Progressing to 22 is Stellan Dabini Abraham, the Minister of Small Business Development. At 47 years, he is worth $12.5 million. At 21, Ebrahim Rasool, South Africa's former ambassador to the United States, enters with $15 million at age 63. At 20th place, we have Derek Hanekom, the 72-year-old former Minister of Tourism, with a net worth of $18 million. At number 19 sits Bladen Zimond, Minister of Science and Technology. He is 67 years old and valued at $20 million. Progressing to 18 is Nkosazana Dlamini Zuma, a veteran politician and former Minister of Home Affairs. At 76 years, her wealth is $22 million. At 17, Becky Seal, the country's former Minister of Police, steps in. He is 73 years old with a net worth of $22 million also. Moving to number 16, we find Aaron Motsoaledi, the Minister of Health. At 67 years old, his fortune stands at $25 million. Occupying the 15th position is Angie Motshekga. The Minister of Defense is 70 years, and boasts a net worth of $30 million. At 14th place is Lindiwe Sisulu, former Minister of Human Settlement. She is 71 years, and valued at $45 million. Counting down at 13, Naledi Pandor, former Minister of Education, steps in. She is 71 years old and her wealth around $50 million. At 12, we spotlight Fikile Mbalula, the former Minister of Police. At 54 years old, he controls $60 million. Taking the 11th position is Siphone Kosi, businessman and politician, aged 71, with a net worth of $65 million. Breaking into the top 10, Zweli Mkhize, member of the National Assembly, secures his place. At 69 years, his net worth stands at $70 million. At number 9, we have Jacob Zuma, South Africa's former president. At 83 years, he holds a fortune of $85 million. Sitting strong at number 8 is Baleka Mbete, the Deputy President of South Africa. She is 75 years and has amassed $95 million. Next at 7, Herman Mashaba, the politician and entrepreneur, enters the list. At 66 years, his net worth is $100 million. Occupying the 6th position is Pravin Gordhan, the veteran politician and anti-apartheid activist, is 75 years old, and commands a fortune of $110 million. At number 5 we have Julius Malema, the fiery leader of the economic freedom fighters, stands tall. He is 44 years with his wealth valued at $120 million. Taking 4th place is Saki Makazoma, businessman and former political prisoner. At 68 years old, he has a net worth of $125 million. Progressing to number 3, we find Gwede Mantashe, the influential Minister of Mineral Resources and Energy. At 70 years, he controls $150 million. At number 2 is Tokyo Sexwale, businessman and former Minister of Human Settlements, secures his rank. At 72 years old, his fortune stands at $200 million. Finally, sitting right at the top is Cyril Ramaphosa, the President of South Africa. At 72 years, he leads the nation with a staggering wealth of $450 million. And there you have it, the 50 richest politicians in South Africa ranked from the least to the very top. Which of these names surprised you the most? Drop your thoughts in the comments. Also, don't forget to like this video, share it, and subscribe to our channel for more countdowns like this. See you soon. Goodbye.